Hello and good morning, YouTube. Case discussion episode 3 lang tayo ngayon. So we have a case of a 42-year-old male who was diagnosed with obstructive jaundice secondary to common bile duct stones or choledocholithiasis, not in cholangitis. So ang history, patient has been complaining of on and off epigastric and right upper quadrant pain. Weeks ago, karon siya ng fever. But currently, patient is asymptomatic and febrile. On workup, normal ang complete blood count. So hemoglobin is okay. White blood cell count and neutrophil count are within normal limits. Slightly elevated on liver enzymes, around 2 to 3 times elevated. The total bilirubin is around 4 to 5 times elevated. The direct bilirubin is around 7 to 8 times elevated. Indirect bilirubin normal. Ultrasound revealed a normal liver. The gallbladder is prominent. It measures around 6 by 3 centimeters, containing stones. The common bile duct was noted to be dilated. In fact, there was a note of a solitary stone measuring around 1.8 centimeters in widest diameter. There are two types of choledocholithiasis actually. Primary and secondary stone. So anong difference? When you say primary stone, the stone itself was formed within the biliary tree. It is usually due to biliary stasis or biliary tree infection na recurrent. Basta doon siya nag-form sa biliary tree. So grossly ang itsura niya, since doon siya sa biliary tree nabuo, it follows the shape of the bile duct, so cylindrical in shape. Usually primary stones are what you call brown stones, combination ng cholesterol and pigment stones yon. So crushable siya. For me, it looks like dried mud. Cylindrical shape, looks like dried mud, easily crushable. So yun ang primary stone. Ang secondary stone naman, these are gallstones na nag-form within the gallbladder. Then it migrated into this common bile duct. So from the gallbladder, it made its way through the cystic duct, then migrating into the common bile duct. So usually, ang shape ng secondary stones, usually they are round or multifaceted. And kadalasan, these are cholesterol stones or pigment black stones. Okay? Yung pigment black stones pa naman, usually they are hard stones. So why do we need to differentiate primary versus secondary stones? Kasi management is different. So for primary stones, since biliary tree siya nagpo-form, it's not enough to remove the stone. Kasi if you just remove the stone from the biliary tree, magkakaroon siya ulit ng formation ng stones sa future. So for primary stones, options are, it's either you do ERCP, and when you do ERCP, they do sphincterotomy to widen the ampulla opening, of course, para makuha yung stone. And the sphincterotomy itself, it's a simple internal bypass procedure. Nilalakihan mo yung ampulla para free flowing ng bile, wala kang biliary stasis. Another option is doing common bile duct exploration. Remove the primary stone, then after removing the stone, you do a bilioenteric bypass surgery. So depende na ngayon yon. If the biliary tree measures around 1 centimeter in widest diameter, ERCP with sphincterotomy is enough. But if the biliary tree is more than 1.5 or more than 2 centimeters in widest diameter, and primary stone former ang patient, you do extrahepatic bile duct excision, then you do bilioenteric bypass. Ang definitive procedure for me is the Roux-en-Y hepaticojejunostomy. There are other types. There are actually several types of bilioenteric bypass. There's the choledochojejunostomy. So you connect the common bile duct to the jejunum. There is the choledochoduodenostomy. You connect the common bile duct with the duodenum. And yung definitive procedure is the hepaticojejunostomy, wherein you connect the common hepatic duct sa jejunum. May mga indications yan, may mga certain complications, like for the choledochoduodenostomy, there's a 1% chance na mag-develop ng what you call sump syndrome. For secondary stone, since the stone migrated from the gallbladder to the common bile duct, so it is enough to just remove the stone from the common bile duct, either by ERCP or by common bile duct exploration. By the way, for both stones, primary or secondary, you do cholecystectomy also. And nowadays, both procedures can be done either by open conventional technique or by minimally invasive technique. Now for this case, so we have a case again of a 42-year-old male with common bile duct stone. For this case, we did not offer ERCP anymore. Why? Because the common bile duct stone is big, nasa 1.8 centimeters siya. And usually if you do ERCP for such cases, lalo na pag more than 1.5 centimeters or more than 1 centimeter ang stone, the ERCP will fail unless the endoscopist will do mechanical lithotripsy. Ibig sabihin, dudurugin nila yung stone. So yon, pwedeng maging successful ang ERCP. We did open cholecystectomy, intraoperative cholangiogram, and common bile duct exploration for the case. Intraoperatively, the gallbladder measures around 8 by 3 centimeters. Yung walls niya medyo thick, and a little bit hard. We were able to do IOC. On IOC, we noted a dilated common bile duct with a sudden cut off. So usually kasi, if there's a round stone sa common bile duct, makikita mo may reverse meniscus sign. So curve yung shape ng cut off. But for this case, flat ang kanyang cut off. Hindi kaya ito primary stone? Kasi parang flat yung cut off, parang cylindrical shape yung common bile duct stones, conforming to the shape of the biliary tree. Is it a primary stone? Or is it a secondary stone? So we proceeded with common bile duct exploration. Personally, I'm still thinking it's probably a secondary stone, then nag-cause ng obstruction sa common bile duct, nagkaroon ngayon ng biliary stasis, eventually leading to further stone formation. So dahil sa secondary stone, nagkaroon ng formation ng primary stone. During common bile duct exploration, we identified crushable stone. So unti-unti naming in-extract using Randolph forceps. And distally, we were able to extract cholesterol stone. So secondary stone siya. It's still secondary stone. So removing the stone is enough. We don't need to do bypass surgery. So after removal of the stones, we did cholecystoscopy. No other stones were seen. Mukhang clear na. Then we placed T-tube drain. Then after placement of the T-tube drain, we did completion cholangiogram to further document na wala ng retained stones. Then we placed a GP drain sa subhepatic space. So yun ang nangyari sa patient. For this procedure, I was with our chief resident, Dr. Bambilim. Kasama rin namin sina Dr. Axel Yabes, our junior consultant, and Dr. Veron Raimundo. Shout out sa inyo. So that's our short discussion on common bile duct stones. I hope you learned something new today. Thank you for watching.